Okay, I can't see. Oh, there's 6 people here already. Wow.
So good.
Good morning from Cuba, or at least near to Cuba. We have just altered course uh, for a direct course to Grand Cayman, Georgetown. 256 miles to go. We've been making great speed, and we've had pretty good weather up to now. Hey, babe.
Yeah, it's been perfect. No problems. Oh, we had a few schools last night. Um, Wind, rain. I had to run around and close hatches. Then you run around and open them again, and then you run around and close them again.
What's up, Big Dave? Hello, Barry. Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah. So we've been very fortunate with the current and with the weather so far. I've just been talking to my buddy Nat in Cayman, getting the lowdown on arrival. Of course, we're going to arrive on July the 3rd, which would be cool. Just in time for the firework display. Hopefully, we can get checked in and enjoy it from wherever we are.
That'll be nice.
Yeah. So
Commander
you
Bay.
you had some dolphins, eh?
Yeah, all of a sudden, like 10 minutes ago, I saw a few jumping on their way over. And when I went to the bow, there was at least 15 of them. They're much smaller than the ones we saw yesterday, but they were fun nonetheless. So I did film them. They'll be in an upcoming video.
They'll be in an upcoming video, will
Well,
they?
there'll be upcoming videos.
Well, so far so good. I haven't done a full weather check today, but I am seeing that maybe 3 to 4 foot seas on the nose a bit later. Hopefully, it won't be too bad, and there'll be a reasonable period. We're pitching a little bit more than we have been. We've been very fortunate with squalls. We had one largest downpour, which was really quite nice.
We needed it to cool down a bit.
Yeah, we have the
We
fan running. I hope you can hear us.
Now they can see it in the
Uh,
back.
yeah. So, some facts and figures. Somebody asked for some facts and figures. You'll recall that when we went from West Palm to Dry Tortugas, I ran at 1400 RPM and we averaged 7.25 knots. But a lot of that time we were bucking the Gulf Stream and I was trying to get out of the Gulf Stream. Anyway, at 1400 RPM, we were doing 5.2 gallons an hour. This time to get from Dry Tortugas to Grand Cayman, where I prefer to push on a bit, we've been running at about 1570 RPM, which isn't 1650's kind of top end. Anyway, in the last 24 hours, we have used 169 gallons of diesel, and that's 7 gallons an hour. The good thing is we've averaged 9.3 knots as well. So we did a day's run of 224 miles, 0800 to 0800. The ETA right now, I see it's slipped a bit. 1 day, 4 hours. So we're still making.
You got to talk here so they can hear.
I'm looking. We're still making 9.2 hours. You know, she's very bossy, but she didn't know what I was doing. Um, you got something to say?
No.
Go on.
Um, well, we've had breakfast.
Have we?
We've had coffee this morning at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Um, yeah, the
We
ship passing by.
yeah, we didn't see Cuba. We stayed offshore because I was using time zero and also predict wind to look at the currents, and it's been very helpful because we've kept the speed up. And 9.2 knots. If we can keep this speed for as long as possible, we can get into Cayman before it all closes down. As Leslie said, there's a tanker going by. Actually, it's a bulk carrier. A bulk carrier going down. I'll show it to you shortly. Everyone's quiet. I don't see much chat here today. Yeah, we've had a bit of traffic, but most of it's not been of any problem. In fact, we've not had to alter course at all. Overnight, Leslie kept the 8 to 12. I kept the 12 to 4. Leslie picked up again at 4 o'clock this morning.
We also avoided the traffic separation zone, and most of the ships aim for the traffic separation zone because the current wasn't favorable enough to go through the traffic separation zone.
Why are you laughing? That's exactly correct.
Oh no.
That's exactly correct. And yeah, I mean, at one point yesterday we were running at 10 knots, which was pretty good. We did have an incident yesterday afternoon
Oh yes.
around 2 p.m. where I sighted a. Oh, just hang on. My VHF. Carry on. Look.
I was in the galley lunch, and Frank shouts, come up here, come up here. And I'm shouting, I can't, because I've got food on the stove. Anyway, I ended up having to switch everything off. And there was a pink and green colored inflatable, what was it, a canoe, about, I don't know, a few hundred yards ahead. So we debated whether to try and salvage it or not because it was a really nice looking canoe. Anyway, we did stop and found that it was full of bird poop. And we tried to pick it up. We did get a hold of it and tried to pick it up, but it was very waterlogged, and we couldn't get a good enough hold to pull it over into the cockpit. We didn't want to open the boarding gate, so we decided that the birds are making good use of it. Fish are using it as shelter, and so we left it for them. At the same time, our friends in Bahamas had found a kiddie's kayak. So serendipitous.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to give you some idea of the currents that we've been working with. We are, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, yeah, it's not really showing. And it's backward as well. Anyway, yeah, it's not a very good picture. Are we running air conditioning? Yeah, we have air conditioning, but we need to run the generator for air conditioning, and we try not to run the generator unless we absolutely have to. Um, to be honest, if we ran, we'll probably switch the generator on a little bit later
when it's really hot.
Because Leslie's got some things that require 240. Not backwards for you. Oh, wow. So it must correct itself. Hello, Nathaniel. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, hopefully. Thanks for joining. Be awesome. It's quite a few years since I saw you. Yeah, no, not really.
What was the question?
Are you any interest in stopping in Cuba in the future? You know, I'd like to go to Cuba, but I'm not sure I want to take my American flag vessel in there. Some people have different opinions, and I hear mixed reviews of people who've taken their boat in there. Um, hi Nat, seeing you soon. Yeah, I mean we're very excited, and hopefully we can make it.
Orion's watching.
Yeah, hopefully we can make it before the fireworks. The other thing about running dishes, we're going to close the doors. Otherwise, you're just trying to cool down the atmosphere, and we're not really interested in trying to cool down the atmosphere. Okay. Hello, Orion. Just hold on a second. I'm going to show you something. It's going to be a bit bumpy. Whoops. There's a cargo ship there. I assume you can see it. Yeah, she's going, obviously going the other way, about 5 or 6 miles away. And here's the track. Here's the engine room cameras. And then down here, the radar's on 72 miles, so I'll have to change it. Anyway, as you can see, the weather is pretty good. Hi. Wonderful seas this morning. Yeah, we've been very lucky with the seas. Yeah,
Yes.
thanks, Thomas. I did have somebody yesterday put a comment up that they didn't like this format because they wanted to see other things. But this is This is not to replace our videos. This is just, we thought we'd do a daily update while we're on passage. And I hope people enjoy it. I mean, we will get to Grand Cayman, and then we'll wait for a weather window to run down to Panama. That's a slightly more challenging journey, and I expect that we'll be in Cayman for a week, maybe two. I certainly don't want to be any quicker than that. I'm glad you like them, Big Dave. You're on every time. And I mean, it's fun for us. Maybe we will do a Zoom one day, and then everybody can talk. I don't know how well that'll go.
Starling, brilliantly.
No, Starling, yeah, it's only data. Anyway, I don't know if everybody's heard, but the last 24 hours we ran 9.3 knots, 169 gallons, and we've been running at 1,570 RPM. ETA Cayman. Johan. Hoody. Noon tomorrow. I just realized we've got to go back an hour on the clocks. So we'll just flip the clocks back an hour at some point. But I'm hoping to make it by noon.
That should give us plenty of time to get checked in.
No, that should give us plenty of time to check in. Nat, how long does it take to get checked in? If you're still there. Turnip. Yes, you are. Johan is a Swede, so I call him a turnip.
You shouldn't do that.
Well, he's the one who wrote turnip, not me. I think that's 8:11 Cayman time now. Excellent. So we are an hour.
Okay, we are 9:11.
We're at 9:11. And how long will it take to get checked in now? They're reasonably quick, I think. They are fairly efficient. And hopefully there's no cruise ships tomorrow. That is, I know, the bane of Nat's life and mine, to be honest. I don't want to be dodging cruise ships in Georgetown. How's Orion in... Orion, did you go to the glass window? For those of you who want to know, we do engine checks every 4 hours, somewhere between 30 minutes and 3 hours. We're heading there still. I forgot. Hatchet Bay first. Oh, you're going in there. Is that the one which is like the really narrow entrance, and then you're in like in a pool?
And there's tractors at the bottom to get your anchor chain caught.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Have you got wind, or is Dylan being forced to use his engines? Is there a video of your decision to go from Catamaran to Nordhaven, other than do you prefer it as a similar power cat? Excellent. So there's no ships in port on the 3rd, which is excellent. That means we'll get good attention. There's a video on your decision to go to Catamaran. I don't think we did a specific video. You want to tell people how we came to move from Catamaran to Nordhaven?
When Frank was working in Hong Kong, he got a catamaran, a 46-foot lagoon, and it was a lovely boat. We loved it. And the plan was to sail it from Hong Kong back to America, but then COVID hit and there basically was not a single place where we would have been able to stop on the way. So in the meantime, also, Frank came back to America. So he decided to sell the catamaran, and he had already looked at Nordhavens. And so the decision was to just go for a Nordhaven. Because one thing you need to know about Frank is he does this analysis paralysis. He analyzes everything and does research for months before he makes a decision. And I mean, buying a boat is a big decision. You don't just like get up in the morning and decide to go and buy a Nordhaven. Anyway, from my side, it was a brilliant choice. We love this boat and always feel safe.
Yeah, you know, like all people who have boats, I always look at other boats, and we will. Thank you, Johan. Analysis paralysis. I'm not sure that's entirely fair.
But it's true.
Morning to the Admiral. Thanks for your both and to choose a restaurant with him. Oh, God. What is this? Abuse time? Two unique special ladies. You're welcome. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Would you prefer something bigger? Yo, this is a 62-foot Nordhaven wide. Would I prefer something bigger? You know, in the Nordhaven range, perhaps only a 76. But then there are people who have 76s who look after themselves with the boat without a crew. But the big difference is it's a big number up in terms of dollars, and that's in buying it and maintaining it and to be quite honest, I think this is the perfect size for us as a couple. Would we consider a 57? We did not consider a 57. Some of our friends, yes, you can shorthand a 76. There are several couples that do it.
There's one couple, they're in their 70s, and they live on and look after their boats themselves.
It's a 76, it's called. And yeah. But to be honest, I've even looked at going back to sailboats and a Neil catamaran, a trimaran. But I decided I don't want to play with sails. Did I consider a Nordhaven 57? Several of our friends have Nordhaven 57s, and they're nice boats. But I think we're very happy with our 62. Overall, I think it's and I'm biased, but it's the Greyhound and the most fuel efficient of the lot. So it's.
The first boat we looked at was a Nordhaven 47, and it was so small. Frank's a big guy, and I just looked at him in the salon of this boat, and I thought, oh, this is not going to work. And the next boat that they had available was this Nordhaven 62, and it was an instant yes when we looked at it. Eh? Well, instant. We had to think about it. But
yeah, I'm not sure it was an instant yes. I mean, it was doubling the budget.
Yeah, then there's that.
Did you look at any other 62s? We did not at the time. We've been on numerous 62s since, obviously. And some are in better shape, some are in worse shape, some are older, some are newer, much newer. I mean, our friends who are on Nordhaven 6232, the boat's nearly 10 years younger than ours. So you can see that in some places, but in other places we're very fortunate because our boat had an almost complete refit just before we bought it. So, you know, when you've had new black water hoses, new electrics, new electric cabling, brand new pilot house equipment,
refrigeration, air conditioning,
new refrigeration, new air conditioning, new water maker, engine completely overhauled, new generator. I mean, we basically jumped on board, and a few teething problems the davit had to be overhauled. But we've been very, very fortunate. So the age of the hull may be 97, but the mechanics and the electronics are very last 3 years. And we haven't looked at anything else since. And to be honest, the only thing I might miss is a stern thruster sometimes, but you learn to adapt. Would I prefer something? What is the difference between the 62 and a 63? I've never been at sea in a 63, but I've been on board one. We looked at one. The basic thing is the 63 is a foot narrower. Its beam is 1 foot less. It doesn't have a bulbous bow, and it runs about a knot slower at sea. There is a video online of a 62 and a 63 going up the east coast of the US, and the 63 is being left behind.
It also doesn't look nearly as comfortable in the water, I don't think. But I'm not an expert in seaworthiness.
Yeah.
Seagoing.
So Martin had a 43. Is it Martin? No, Maldwin had a 43. It was a bit tight. Yeah, our friends have got a 43. It's quite nice. It's just a bit slow, I think. I have a Power Cat and going to move to a 57, possibly a 55. Yeah, I'm going to be careful what I say. I wouldn't buy a 55. They run around nose down.
I'll be careful, but this is
they're a bit wedding cake like. I have been on a 55 and I have steered a 55. If you've got a 55, I'd try and get a twin engine. But that's my just my opinion.
A 57 is a lovely boat.
57 is a lovely boat. Yeah, we have two good friends who have 57s. Yeah, the 60 Gennard, better than new video on YouTube. I know that one. A 60 is basically a 55 with a 5-foot cockpit put on the back of it. Again, I haven't been to sea in it. It's got a lovely cockpit space. There's compromises on everything. I think horses for courses and choices. Right now, I'm happy with the 62, and so far she's been very kind to us.
Yeah.
And we're having a good trip towards Cayman. We're still making 9.4 knots, so I'm quite happy. Anyway, guys, tomorrow we will do another update at 9 a.m., weather permitting. And we will have a much better idea of our ETA in Grand Cayman, Georgetown. Hopefully we can get in, get checked in, get around to the north end, go through the sound, and be tied up in time for some fireworks for July the 4th weekend.
Cool.
If there's nothing else, we're going to sign off.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
Yeah. Safe travels. See you tomorrow, bud. Yeah, fantastic. Orion, have a great day.
Hasta mañana.
Hasta mañana. And we'll just keep rocking and rolling. Bye-bye.